This is part one of a three-part demo on a segmented bowl using the wedgie sled.
Anyway, you can go on his website and get all this information. You can download the plans for all his stuff. He doesn't charge for them, they're free. You can see mine so well made, down scrap. Anyway, the whole idea behind cutting with what he calls his wedges, these are wedges. You can make one a CNC or you can buy a set. Buy every one he's got. It's like 8 or 9 of them for $100. He sells them in sets of 4 for $50. Yeah. The idea behind the wedgie is you got 2 fences on your sled. Make your sled, put a track in, and he had a neat idea I hadn't seen before. I don't know if you noticed, but there's a screw in each end of my track. You want your sled to do, but you don't want it to wiggle. So there's a screw in the end. Tighten the screw. You take out any wiggle on the front and back of your sled.
Is it split?
It's a split track in there.
Right.
And the screw goes into it. And it'll tighten it up. You still got slack that way. Anyway, the wedgie uses 2 fences. The whole idea is this, you're not having to sit there and calculate angles to get your cuts to make your ring. And the project we're doing is a 16 segment.
How many?
16. And this is all this stuff's marked 16. He's got 36, 32, 18, 24, 40, and 48. That's too many wedges for me to mess with.
You can't count that.
If you've seen some of these guys' vessels on YouTube or whatever, they've got 1,000 pieces in the frames. I'm not that ambitious.
And the thing about these wedges, if you try to do it with a chop saw, you can do that. But you're going, when you get to the very end, you're going to have a gap either at the top or the bottom. Because all your angles, if you get it exact, that's great. You can do it in 2 halves, blow it up in 2 halves, and then sand on a disander, and then glue that back together. But doing with these wedges, it cuts it so accurate that I call it a smoke point.
A little touch up on the edges.
Yeah.
His little system consists of a sled. This is what I call an end stop. I'll show you how that works in just a minute or so. Tighten that up if I get, I'm not sure where I want it. And this is going to be a little bit different because this table saw is not my table saw, and I've got a gap between the blade and the edge of my fence. So I can't use this, but this is what he calls zero clearance. You would put this, you build this for your shop. Put this little wedge on there, and when you cut the segment, they'll fall off out of your way instead of getting caught with the blade.
Oh.
All right, so that's what that's for. So, because you may be cutting something that small.
Mm.
Let's see if I can do this. Anyway, that's what that would be for. Okay, let me show you how this works. We've got a 16 segment wedgie, and I have a little guideline on the edge of my sled right here that hopefully is same distance, parallel to the blade. Anyway, you get the back side kind of parallel to your line. Tighten up one side, push the wedgie in. Tighten up the other side. Take your wedgie out. Now you're done with it.
Now, if I remember in doing my research on this, it doesn't matter if you square that end up.
No,
You still have the same angle, it's just gonna skew your piece a little going
I'm
around
gonna
the
show you
corner.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you that.
Sorry.
The first thing you have to do is, of course, design what you're gonna build. Decide how many rings you want, diameters, wall thickness, things like that. And Seg Easy has a chart on there that you can get all your cuts and links and everything. But I found one that's a little easier, and it's on that sheet. It's called Jerry Marley. It's got a Marley turned website, and it's a segmented thing. What you do on his website is, after you come up with your rings, you go into his little calculator, and I number my rings from bottom up. I don't think it matters, but you go in there and you put in what ring number you want. You need the ring height, which is your thickness of your finished product, 1/2 inch, 3/4, whatever. Your wall thickness, which I'll tell you about in a second, that's the tricky part. Your ring diameter, that's your outside diameter. Glue up tolerance, number of segments, and blade curve. Hit calculate, and you put in that first bit of information. Then you're gonna get you'll start getting a chart on this, it looks like this on the computer. It'll tell you, ring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what you're looking for out of all this is this board length and a rip width. So I'll show you that in a second. When you print it out, you can get one that looks like this. And what you're looking for is, you're going to cut strips to make your segments. So this is your board length. He'll tell you that you need a board 18 and 5/16 to make 16 segments. I cut mine a little long, a couple inches longer, your fingers don't get close. The segment width is a real key piece, and what that actually is, where's my little sheet? I don't know if you can see this little red box or not, but if you determine the width of your wall width, if you took a block like this against it, that's your wall width. What the board is going to do, what width board do you need to get that wall? So the straighter the wall, the skinnier the board. If it's got a lot of curve to it, the board's going to get wider to get your cut. But the little calculator will tell you what you need to know. You don't have to sit there and figure out stuff.
Now, it already figured the other rings for you?
No, you have to put in each ring.
Each ring,
You
okay.
put in each ring.
Gotcha.
So if you're doing,
20 rings, you got 20.
Yeah.
if you're doing something like this, you get that many.
Gotcha.
You get a line for each ring.
Okay.
Done something like that?
Oh, yeah.
And the grain is from left to right on this
No.
picture, right? Where's the grain?
This is a ring. A ring's a layer
Right.
going up.
I know, where's the wood grain? Oh, yeah, okay, the wood grain goes this way for each segment. Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
It will, yeah. Like I said, this is ring 0, which is your solid bottom.
So why does the
Yep.
grain go that way?
Because otherwise you'd be turning in grain poking out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So every segment is side
And the
grain.
sled kind of takes care of that for you.
Yeah. And that's the point of
Okay.
using the sled, because you cut both sides, because Mike and I had the conversation.
So I mentioned that segment length,
Yes.
the segment width. That's what this little thing is for. All right. So I've already cut ring. Here's ring 1. If y'all want, it's not glued. It's just rubber banded. There's ring 1. 16 segments. I'll show you what the lines mean in just a second. Also, I'm just going to tell you that now. When you get your board ready,
Yeah.
take your face upside. Draw a squiggly line all the way down it. And take one edge and draw a straight line down it. This is going to help you orient your pieces when you start putting them together. That way you won't lose track and which goes where.
Do you flip each other ring?
Oh, yeah.
in case there's a little,
Yes.
if you're not exactly.
If you look at that ring right there, if you look on the inside or the outside, you'll see a straight line on every other piece.
Yep.
All right? So all the squiggly line sides are up. Then when I get the cut, I'll take a line on the outside, a line on the inside, a line on the outside as you go around. And supposedly that takes care of any vertical offness you're going to have on your blade when you cut it. I'm not sure how it does it, but that's what that's what that jury says. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and set up for number 2. We're doing an 1/16. I've got this thing's got a track and slides. Got a little stop. You can tell I did quality work on these. You know? Need somebody with a CNC machine to make me a nice sled. Okay, we're gonna do
You know anybody got one?
And narrows it down.
Hey, Mike, is there a CNC nut in here? You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
That's right.
He didn't come tonight.
I'm not as bad.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
That's his twin brother.
Yeah. Shit. Honey, right.
Okay, I'm right at an 1/16 right there.
And you
From-
measured to the back side of the blade?
Yeah, from which side of the blade?
I'm from this side of the blade.
Okay.
Okay.
So this piece will be your working piece
Yeah,
on.
I would think so, because I thought you was measuring to your right side of the blade.
I didn't do that right correctly.
Oh, I see what you're doing, you're cutting the.
So the finish cut's on the left,
I don't remember
Yeah.
his name.
your left.
No, he makes pins, right?
Mm.
He makes pins.
Okay. John makes
Yeah, John's the big pin guy.
Okay,
I need
don't you
this on
make
this
pins?
side.
What do you do?
I need to fall off to be the right size.
What do you do?
Yeah. So all you guys are really turns.
He does big stuff.
You know, you gotta be skilled, just make sure. it's-
All you do when you start
Yeah,
cutting
I don't wanna be mad.
is
Yeah.
rotate from front fence to back fence. You don't have to flip boards, you don't have to do anything.
You alternate?
Just go from one side to the other, and you'll see in just a second. Okay. Cut off. Corner, do your stop. Right there. That's your clear. Now if I bumped it up right there, holding this. Other side. Sometimes I cut an extra, and then the other day I was playing around and putting my ring together. It would not fit for the foot. I had gaps in it. I picked up my extra and put it in the ring. It had 17 pieces. It wasn't going to fit. I was not going to fit, period, no matter what I did.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Wow.
If you want to gather around, you can do some. Taking the squiggly ring, squiggly line up. I would take these to a little blunt sander and just touch the fuzzies up, or I have a sit there and just,
Top
get
load it
fuzzies.
on.
Yeah, just want to do it lightly, you want to mess up your angle. All right, get a line on the outside, so I'll put a plank on the outside. Get a line on the outside. Plank.
You're scaring me to death. You know what that tabletop leg? Temporarily, anyway. Yeah. For the lawsuit.
Yeah, you went off, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Have you signed this piece of paper?
We did this right.
The tricky part is with the band though.
Yeah.
You're gonna do that one
I want to see you done.
Here's the, done this once or twice.
Technique
Yeah, I
now.
lost it. Almost did it.
You're back too quick.
This is adjusting the depth from the end stop to the blade, which is the segment width of a wedgie. And here we're marking one of the boards for the top edge and for the side for later assembly that you can alternate the wedges when you make your ring.